This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design. Kiwi is the leader in Oculus Quest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast.
The Oculus Quest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever find things could be a bit more comfortable, maybe a little safer? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and so much more.
And let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. You don't want to be that guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes now to prepare yourself today.
And you don't need to sacrifice comfort for cost either. Kiwi is constantly running promotions of 20, 25, and even 30% off.
Just visit the link in our show notes and use the promo code on their website to take full advantage of your savings. And be sure to follow the link in our show notes so we get credit and you help support the podcast. And remember, Kiwi has you covered for all your VR needs. This podcast is brought to you today by Zencastr, the company we choose to use for our interviews.
I remember that first interview we had and the stress that we went through trying to find a platform that we were going to host this on.
That's where Zencastr came in. With HD video recording and studio sound quality, we were able to connect seamlessly with guests all over the world.
I love the fact that it's as easy as sending our guests a link, they click on it, and they're connected.
With automatic post-production, secured cloud backup, and automated transcripts, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast. If you want to make remote podcasting easy,
make sure you go to zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code Ruff Talk VR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's zencastr.com/pricing, promo code Ruff Talk VR. It's your time to share your story. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. You know, we talk a lot about genres that we want to see more of on the Oculus Quest store. You hear us rant about board games, strategy games. You know, as city builder fans, when Stratus sent me this game, I hit buy so fast. He gave me kind of his first little impressions. There was no hesitation on my end. You know, so before we get too carried away with what we're talking about today, we're talking about Spacefolk City. As I referenced before, it's a cute little city builder available on the official Oculus Quest store. It's currently $24.99 on the official Oculus Quest store, made by developers Beyond Frame Entertainment, with a 4.4 overall rating and 112 total ratings and 62 written ratings. So it's this cute little city builder. You discovered this first. Like I said, you sent it to me. Yeah. You were like, you got to check this out.
I was just trolling through the store for no rhyme or reason, just, you know, because I constantly do, see if anything jumps at me. And city builder, man. I mean, that's all you have to say. I don't need any other description. I don't care if it's on Mars, if it's on Earth, but I don't know. It's its own little original. It's cute. The best word I can describe it, it's a really cute game. It's an E for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from old person to young kid, they probably enjoy playing it. You know, it's not an advanced city builder like, you know, the Sims was back in the day, or SimCity with, you know, you need pipelines and electricity and all this shit. You have like really simple, seemingly simple little tasks to do, but it's a challenging, cute little game. I mean, I'm happy I picked it up, you know, sight unseen, and I think at the end of the day, the only gripe I'd have, then you mentioned it, is the $24.99 for the amount of current content, but I don't know what the future of the game is and where they're going with it, and whether there's going to be, because they unleashed, you know, Christmas levels for the holidays, but currently there's not a ton of levels to do. So you have a sandbox, and you can do one of 8 different challenge levels that they've set up for you.
Yeah, which kind of teach you a little bit about the game, you could say.
Yeah, I actually found doing the sandbox, because I didn't do the sandbox at first. We started doing the challenges, and then I tried sandbox, and I actually wish I had tried it first, because you're more liberal with mistakes and going, oh, this isn't that hard.
Yeah. So basically, we keep saying it's a cute little sandbox game.
It is cute.
The reason we say it's cute is because it's colorful.
The characters are cute.
The characters are like these aliens that take the different roles, whether it might be an art citizen, an avocado citizen,
Yeah, you
a,
got
a banana
landscape,
citizen,
or like plant,
Yep.
avocado.
beach citizens.
Yep, magic.
So it's
But it doesn't matter. That's just what they're. We'll say that's where they came from,
Yeah.
Magicville or some shit. But you're absolutely right. I mean, they're cute little. They're a little creative. I can't even describe them to anything
they're
because
like
each one.
figurines almost.
Yeah, and each one's very unique. So it's not like I can say, oh,
This one's like a bunny. This one's
yeah,
like
not at all. I mean, the closest I've seen is probably something that resembled a penguin, I would think. Somewhat penguiny-ish.
And it's important to reference. You said it's not like a Sim City.
Nope.
It's not like you have this whole city that you're like a mayor of or anything like that.
You're in outer space.
Yeah, it's
And you have to, it's important, you are on, the sun is going supernova on you. So your overall objective is you need to escape the supernova.
your guys your initial citizens are kind of stranded.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, help us build our city so we can get a rocket and get out of here.
Get the hell out of here
Mhm.
because there's a supernova and it's coming and it's going to kill us.
Mhm.
If you look up when you play the game, you'll see the supernova or the sun. It's not normal. Something's wrong with it. So you know something bad is going to happen if you stick around.
Yeah, so this is definitely a non-traditional city builder. So it starts you have like a couple different platforms, and then there's these like energy clouds up in the sky. So to start, they give you a little tutorial that teaches you basically everything you need to know, but you build a little like power generator thing.
Always starts with the power.
And then from there, you have to build a house for your citizen, but you have to make your citizens construct the power generator. So check this. If your citizen's on a platform and then you make the power generator, up in the sky, how's your guy going to get to it? It's not connected to any platform, right? Now, this is one of the coolest things about this game. They give you so many different ways to connect your platforms together or travel from platform to platform. So you could build your power generator up in the sky, put a little like wooden platform attached to it, and then put a zip line on the platform and have your guys zip line up there and construct the little power generator thing. But once you construct the power generator, then your city has energy. And it gives you like a little like green, I guess you could say like 3D cube of like, area that has energy. And everything that you build after the power generator has to be in that green, zone for it to even function. So once you get the power generator, then you have to build a house. You have to make your guy build the house. And then from there, there's different like skill. I don't even know if I can say
Skill buildings.
Yeah, there's one
There's 3 different skill buildings.
there's one that like increases your citizens'
Speed.
stamina, and then one that increases their special skill ability.
Yep.
We'll get more into that. So you start with one citizen, depending on the mission. Actually, I'll say in sandbox mode you start with one citizen.
Yeah, missions you can start with a lot more than one.
It depends. The missions are kind of like different scenarios, but in the sandbox you start with one citizen. Just use it as an example. And in order to get another citizen, you have to get X amount of happiness. I think it's 4 happiness on your first citizen. So how do you get happiness? You can grab your citizen, you flick the tab up, and it'll show you his different wants to get more happiness that are represented in different hearts. So it's pretty much the same for every citizen. There's not too much variety except maybe 2 of the hearts. But it's usually like they want a house, they want a skill facility, they want a stamina facility, they want a house facility. Usually they want to find 3 different decorations of whatever, if they're a banana, avocado, whatever the hell they are. Maybe they want to see a birthday party, something like that. So usually if you build a house that all the different stamina thing or all the different skill buildings, you have enough to get another citizen. And there's a lot of different items in the game as well, like a defense thing, a refinery, a warehouse, which we'll explain a little bit more about those. But the only way to unlock those with even any chance to buy them is to have a total amount of happiness. Like you might need 12 total happiness to unlock a certain item. So you can't accomplish that with one citizen. You need to get 3 citizens, get them to, whatever happiness to even be able to purchase a certain item.
Yeah, and you mentioned you make your citizens work, and just like any, obviously the question would be, well, where do you get money? How do you make money in this game?
This is
So
a fun part.
they do it pretty creatively. And it's not like they're hurting for, so you're not going to be sitting there waiting a long time. But when you're at your main platform that your guys start out on, there'll be like these asteroids, I'll call them like junk asteroids, junk rocks that float through the air past your little base. And you can actually move forward and get them if they're out of reach. And you grab it and you pull it apart with both hands, and the thing will break open, and then it gives you the scrap that you need for your guys to actually be able to build, because everything will have a cost. Like a decoration might cost 10 scrap, 20 scrap. The high-end ones are 70 and I think 80.
A house is like 40 scrap.
Yeah, and then your skill buildings, like your speed skill building, you have 3 different buildings, and of course each one will cost more. So you can buy your basic one, which is good for 1 citizen. This is where it gets a little cheeky. I've discovered that if I want 5 citizens, I can have all the same citizens, because I'll build a house, and then if depending on what decoration you put on the house, it dictates what citizen is going to move into that house. So let's say I have banana citizens. I'll build 5. I know, right? It's a cute game, man. So I'll have a banana citizen. He lives in this banana house, which is just the house that I built, and I put a banana decoration on it. So I build another house. But, long story short, I can have 5 of the same citizens, and I only need that 1 person skill building, because I don't have a multitude. I'm not using, like, if I had let's say the birthday citizen, I would have to have those skill buildings be able to be occupied by them as well. So you put their decoration on it as well as your guys. It's a great way to get the happiness jacked up.
To go a little bit into what he's saying, if in case you've never played it and you're trying to visualize what this is, after you build a building, you need to put a decoration of that type of person on the building for them to take advantage of it. So when you build a house, it's just a blank house. You go into your list of items and decorations. Let's say you have banana people available and avocado people available. You can choose which type of person is going to move into that house. If you put an avocado person's going to move into it. If you put a banana onto it, a banana person's going to move onto it. Or banana decoration, I should say. So with the skill buildings, if you have, avocado people, you put a skill building, you need to put an avocado decoration on it. But like you said, there's 3 different tiers of skill building. So for the stamina skill buildings, the skill buildings, and the speed skill buildings, there's like a 1 for 1 resident, 1 for 2, and 1 for 3. But they don't mean 3 residents. They mean 3 different types of residents.
Species.
Yes.
So species, banana people, magic people, whatever.
Yeah. So you place the building for 2 people down. It needs 1 avocado decoration and 1 banana decoration. But when you first start playing, you only have 1 species of people available, whatever they start you with. It's kind of random in sandbox. So you go crazy right away, and you go, I'm going to go place a skill building for three people in my city, but you only have banana people available. You can't just place 3 banana decorations on there. It's not going to work. So that's what you were saying. If you have only avocado people in an area, you don't need to build the 3-person skill building.
No, and because each you referenced, the way to unlock certain things in this game is by the level of happiness your citizen has. So all of them share the same happiness requirements. They need a house, which you're giving them, so you're guaranteed a heart. The skill buildings, if you just do the one skill building level,
with like a city of like 5 people around it,
and build 3 of them.
1 stamina,
you're
1
golden,
skill, 1
because now
speed.
you got 5 people. You're all guaranteed like 5 hearts. So therefore, now you've unlocked everything you ever want to build. And there's not a ton of shit to. And truth be told, I mean, you've got your house, you've got your electricity, which is random. It's not like you get power lines, and if there's no cloud above it, you can't build below it.
Nope.
And even then, it's not a huge build area. So where you have to get creative is
where you place your generator.
yeah, and
Oh,
the creativity in
this
like
part,
actually
yeah.
building the houses and like they
It's
give you
not
the ability to
realistic.
they give you the ability to rotate them, so they don't have to. Yes, there has to be an entrance to it, and that's where the zip lines come in, and ladders and slides, and they give you a lot of little side accoutrements to make it all come together. But you just don't build it traditionally like, oh, I'm going to build a city street. It's like there's some you might put 4 buildings on top of each other and kind of like turn them at weird angles to
Or
have
put it like backside
upside
up.
upside
As
seemingly upside down, but it
As long as they can enter the door.
you're in space, so that's how I kind of justified that.
Mhm.
But it's a unique aspect to the building because traditionally I'm used to like either you're building a base or you're building different buildings and an actual type of cityscape that's traditional. This forces you to, and it really does, because you can't build outside the power area.
Yep.
And you got to stay kind of confined. But some of the maps or the challenges, they give you, was it like 4 or 5 different generator clouds, and
yeah.
they're quite spaced out from each other.
Some of the missions, they only give you a couple.
Yeah.
Some of the missions, they only give you like 2.
Yeah, I just need one.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just give me one. I'll just build on top of each other. You can build underneath it. You can. It's really unique. So that whole, and the fact it's a 3D environment. There's no real zoom. You can kind of pull yourself in closer to an object.
Kind of Demio style. You grab and you move yourself.
Yeah, but it's not like you're gonna pull and zoom in and get all face to face with the people or your little citizens or buildings. It's like seems to be a fixed field point of view, but you can rotate around and move up close to it by pulling it closer.
And like you said, there's not a whole bunch of different items. It's like you open up the item menu. There you have
which is a wheel, which I
Yeah.
like. The traditional wheel on your left or right controller. Press the top button for the build, and then
a different
the bottom
button for
your citizens, like overall what they need and all that.
yeah,
shit.
their names, their happiness,
Which comes in
some
handy
complaints.
because if you have 3 or 4 different types of citizens and you forgot, just go into that. Boom, you go, oh shit, okay, I need the plant citizen. And forgive us for this, but if you play it or have played it, you'll go, nope, totally get it. The banana citizen, avocado, and it'll show you right on that little chart, like, okay, that's exactly who they are and what they need and what they're looking for.
And yeah, there'll be like a little dialogue section in that wheel where it'll be like, I wish there was more stamina shops or whatever.
I need a stamina shop near my house. This one wants, defense. And again, globally, it doesn't matter what citizen, same wants and same needs. So you build for one, you build them for all.
And then it's like, so you open up the build menu. You have one section that's, the decoration for the different species that you have unlocked, which time, freeze, I'll go back. How do you unlock new species? Some of the asteroids that come, they're standard asteroids. You pull them apart, they just give you 10 scrap. Some of them come, you pull them apart, they drop a new decoration. Woo, cool. Occasionally, one will come, you pull it apart, and we'll say, new species discovered. So that's how you discover a new species.
Discovered banana people.
Yep. Okay. So nonetheless. So you
But
go into
the only way to get them to your base now is, like you had said, make sure that your citizens have a certain amount of happiness, build a house, and decorate it with the decor of that species you want to come, and then a little magic bus like flies off.
Yep. Which
comes
again,
back with a citizen.
I'll say time, freeze before I go into the build menu stuff, because I saw some of the reviews, some people saying, hey, issues with getting new citizens to come. In my experience, here's the thing. When you first start playing, it's easy to forget how to get a citizen. I know that sounds stupid, but like I caught myself being like, the citizen's not coming yet. But like it's probably on your end. Realistic. So what you need to do, like you said,
there's no glitch.
You get the happiness to a certain point. And if you're unsure how much more happiness you need, you go into the dialogue, like the people management wheel, and then it'll say you need, 3 more happiness for the happy bus to leave. All right. So then once you get your happiness to the next level to get a citizen, then you build the house. The happy bus won't leave yet. You need to build the house. You need to construct it. And then you need to put on the decoration. Only once putting on the decoration, because now the game knows which type of citizen do you want. Then the game leaves and grabs another citizen. All right. So now we go into the build menu. So you go in, There's the different menus for the decorations, and there's like you said, 3 different tiers of decorations for each different people. So there's going to be in the banana people, the cheap tier, the medium tier, and then the most expensive tier of decorations. And the decoration, you're actually the one who taught me this. When you go to place the decorations, you can grab them just like you rip apart the asteroids, and you can pull them and make them bigger, and you can also shrink them together to make them smaller. It's back to the cute little element. You can grab like a big bar of soap and make it freaking giant. So you have the decorations menus for whatever species you have unlocked, and then you have the transportation menu, which there's platforms, plaza, which a plaza is like a giant plot of land pretty much. I don't really mess with it too much. I use the platforms a lot. You can do ledges, which is like half of a platform, which, by the way, the platform is like a little like 4x4 of wood, I guess you could say. And then there's stairs, there's a slide, there's a zip line, which the zip lines are my favorite because you can make them go unrealistic distances. They're basically my highway system. And then I think there's a bridge, and I think that's it for transportation. And then you go into what I think they call them the folk items, because, it's Space City folk. Your people are folk. There's the power generator, the house, a refinery, which a refinery is you can make some of your citizens, work there. And then if you put the scrap in, like the asteroid in, instead of getting 10 scrap, you get 30 scrap. Pretty big difference. So there's the refinery. There's a defense beacon, which sometimes there's UFOs and solar flares, which the UFOs can go screw themselves. I hate those things. They fly in, they steal your scrap, and they leave. So you need a defense beacon to keep them away. But you place a defense beacon, it doesn't protect your whole city. It's just like a power generator, just a little area. And I think that's it for the special items, right?
No, you have your rocket.
Oh, yeah.
That doubles as a birthday party. So if you have a multitude of citizens, you'll notice one of their happiness requirements is, I sure would like a birthday party. So you build this rocket platform, which is twofold. 1, to have a birthday party. 2, to get you the hell out of Dodge. But if you pick up 3 of your little citizens, put them on the platform, they can have a birthday party. And then you'll get the heart for them having that birthday party.
Yeah, most of the citizens that's one of their wants, their needs. They want to witness a birthday party.
Yeah, they all share the
pretty much the same.
So I'll give you right now a great strategy, and it works every time for me. I'm happy with it. So I use the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I always pre-build my house and I pre-decorate it. So
100. I've been doing that too.
I never wait. So like if I build a generator, I instantly build 3 houses. I only have 1 citizen, maybe 2, but I don't care. I already have 1 house already waiting to go. So the minute that the happiness level hits, I just hear that little bus take off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use that opportunity to build 2 more homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm usually juggling 5 to 6 houses.
And they let you have 3 non-built items at a time. Like they have you can have 3 items waiting to be constructed at a time.
Yep.
I've tried to push more, and then you'll see in the menu 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
No more construction.
They even, for whatever reason, they feel obligated to tell you that you're like at 0 of 3 or 1 of 3.
Well, because it doesn't take the scrap to place the item. It takes scrap to build it. So
Correct.
Example, the house takes 40 scrap, but you have no scrap. You can still place the house, but you just can't build it. You need to have the scrap, grab your guy, and then he'll start building. So I think they do it so you don't like pre-map out your whole freaking city.
Yeah, and then just sit there and pull apart
asteroids
or scrap rocks.
And I did miss one special item. You can buy a warehouse. So when you first start and you pull apart the asteroids, the scrap just falls on the ground.
Which is, it looks like a little piece of lumber.
Yeah, like
Doesn't
maybe
look
a
like
plank.
Anything special. Yeah, a couple little planks.
And then your guy will
tiny.
have to walk over to it, pick it up, and then carry it over, and work on the spot. Or if you like Stratus, you can hand him
I just feed him the wood.
But once you get the warehouse, you rip apart an asteroid, and it'll automatically shoot to the warehouse. So then your guy doesn't have to go and pick up the scrap. He can just walk to a construction building and just nonstop construct until you're out of scrap. So you don't have scrap laying all over your city anymore. You know, if you don't have a big area built yet and you're just ripping apart a bunch of scrap, it can fall off the edge, and you're in space. So you know, you throw something off your city, it'll just like kind of tumble, zero gravity,
It'll float away.
Yeah. So
for the most part. No, and you know, more food for thought. The main platform that every challenge, sandbox, doesn't matter. That main platform area is always going to be like the center spot of where the scrap rocks come.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start building, you know, because they give you opportunities to build pretty, for all intents and purposes, pretty far away. Your dudes take a mean zip line. And it's cool because it's one of the...
Especially if there's a lot of different electrical clouds and you start to utilize them.
Yeah, it's like... But you can put yourself pretty far out from getting scrap is easy. So unless you're prepared to keep moving, you know, move your arms up and down to like drag yourself back down to the main platform. Otherwise your guys will, you know, they need sleep. So if you got a platform that's got your wood on it and, you know, a 1/4 mile long zip line, they got about enough time to get down there, get a piece of wood, go back up the zip line, maybe build for a minute, and then they need sleep, and then rinse, wash, repeat. So that's one of the reasons why I always try to bring the wood to wherever I'm building until I get a warehouse.
Yeah.
But you can't get the warehouse until you get a certain happiness.
I think it's 12, something like that.
So I no longer do any faraway building until I've got something real close to that main little platform that's self-sufficient. I don't need shit from it. And now I can go, I don't care if some, you know, what do I care? I've got enough. I've got everything unlocked. Now I can just have some fun.
Scrap is a little bit of a headache when you're first starting. Once you get the warehouse, it starts to get a little bit easier.
For some of the challenges, it definitely is.
We'll check this. Once you get the warehouse, it gets easier just because it keeps track of it. But once you get the refinery, the scrap is a no issue for me.
See, the refinery's cool, but I don't know. I hate having to put like a worker. You can put 2 workers there, but you can, you know, assign a worker or 2 to the refinery.
Okay, so I was doing sandbox mode.
Yeah.
Remember how many citizens I told you I had?
Yeah, you had a ton.
I think I have 20 or 24 citizens. So
no,
what
I'm
I
just saying
to
physically, like I just get bored.
I hate this because it's like a segregated city. It shouldn't be like that, but it just works really good for the gameplay because then
it's your mining city.
You can do exactly what you harvest happiness by doing it like this because you could just put the one building, exactly the same strategy you said. So what I was doing in sandbox is I have my middle area. That's where, example, my refinery is, my warehouse is, my defense beacons are, pretty much like all of my like folk, like my useful to my city. I guess you could say my public utilities. You could say. So that's all that shit's in the middle, and then from there you zip line up. There's gonna be the avocado people in the top left on that cloud, the banana people on that cloud, the bath people on that cloud. So then because of that, I can just put four houses. I always do 4 for every species, and I'll explain why in just a second. But I'll do 4 of every species, and then each one of their skill building. So I think I'm pretty sure I have 20 citizens. I think I had 5 different species with 4 different species each, so I had 20 different citizens. So for me, I could assign 6 different people to the refinery, and they'll all be rotating shifts because your guys sleep too. Sometimes a little too much, and then they'll go into skill shops and waste too much freaking time there instead of doing their job. But nonetheless, if you only put 2 of your people on the refinery, there's going to be a lot of times in the day that you have nobody there on the refinery. So, you know, you have 20 citizens, you put 6 of them there, they're all rotating shifts. Man, it's no problem. And then I still have a bunch of construction workers because, like, you know, once you have a refinery, the defense beacon, and then you have shit to build, you know, that's 3 different jobs for your guys, either being a construction worker, defense beacon, or refinery. So for me, the only way to get full utilization was, man, I need at least 20 citizens. So
no, I get you. I just still hate just that I have to bring the rock over and put it into the refinery little teeth.
That's true. That's true.
I just like to, like, if I'm, you know, scrap hunting, if I see it, I usually go to it. I won't wait for it to come to me. And then I just pull it apart on the spot because I have the warehouse, and I'm like, I don't care where the wood goes because it's all technically in the warehouse.
Well, I was real disappointed that the game doesn't rewards you or incentivize you to like co-integrate your citizens, because
No.
that's what I was doing when I was the first couple levels. I was like,
That's why I was like, you don't have to.
yeah, but no, it actually rewards you to kind of segregate them
In a way.
Yeah.
I mean, no, because you can do if you do a level 3 skill building, then you've got 3 different types of citizens.
But you don't need to ever place a level 3 if you don't
No.
coexist them.
I've yet to
And
find
here's the
any
thing:
reason why.
a level 1 skill building only costs like what, 30 resource, 40
Mhm.
resource. A level 3 costs 120.
Yeah.
So like to co-integrate them costs so much more scrap.
I just, for my own reason, I just never saw a reason. I'm like, wow, I can pretty much max out
No,
their
you're
happiness and
by making them each in their own separate little areas.
unless a challenge called specifically for the, you need, and that's where the verbiage is important, because not all challenges will say different species or whatever. It's like, so my brain was like, oh shit, so I can have a population of 6, but I'll only build pizza people.
Well, again, that's kind of my what my only complaint is, that I wish that they rewarded you more for, making all the because it's harder to make all the different type of species work together, like live together, because then you have to buy the more expensive skill
each
buildings.
one requires like special decoration requirements. Like they want to be able to visually see every single day an X amount of decor. So if you got pizza people, they're going to want to see at least 3 to 5 different pizza decorations throughout your little city. And that doesn't mean on their house, because that only counts for their house. So you start hogging up area real quick.
If you have 5 different species and you can only have a mix of 3 different species in one skill building anyway, then if you try to make them in all areas, you need to have 6 different build, because you can't cater to everybody with just one. So
you could. I just don't think you'd have enough area in your play area.
No,
I was going to say you could just stack on more houses and put a level 2 skill building on top of the level 3s.
So
then you'd have the 5, but I don't think it would all fit.
So yeah,
So you have to branch out sooner.
You need to
recolonize.
For me, the best way to do it was in the main center was my utilities, and then on each different cloud and energy, I had a different species of citizens with their houses.
I can do it all in one, or
in one
I can
square.
Spread it out. Yeah,
I like to spread it out, because then
you're just adding long play time.
I posted a picture on Instagram of mine from the other day, where there's like zip line. It just looks so crazy when you do it like that by the end with all the zip lines. But so we referenced before, there's like 8 different missions in the sandbox, and each mission has a different objective. Like it might be collect 350 scrap, build this building, build this building, get this amount of happiness with whatever. It's just different objectives, and they'll start you with a different amount of citizens. It's pretty straightforward. The objectives sound simple, but I promise each one's probably going to take you over an hour. That's just the way it goes. But then you go into sandbox, and I got a little, they call it sandbox. To me, sandbox means it goes. It's not supposed to end, Unfortunately, that's not the case. You can make it go forever if you just don't want to do the final part. But basically what happens is, there's a reason I build 4 houses for every citizen type, is if you get 4 of the same citizen type and you build the rocket launcher, not the rocket launcher, but the rocket whatever, you blast off and you win.
Well, you have to escape the supernova.
Yeah, but then it's done.
But it's not true sandbox.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a snob. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe sandbox can have an end objective, but you should still be able to.
I don't think so.
I know. Like, to me, I was like not expecting that.
No, I mean, and
so the only reason I have 20 citizens, I could have ended it within 30 minutes.
Yeah,
the
all you
sandbox
have to do is build
4 houses of the same guy, and then
you only need 4 citizens to leave.
Because then once you build the skill buildings for each one, if they're all the same type, it'll be enough happiness to be able to unlock the rocket launcher. Boom, you're gone.
Yep. So the rocket launcher, 4 citizens, put it inside it.
So
counts down and leaves.
Sandbox is actually probably the easiest and quickest mission of all of them.
Absolutely. But that's why I said, looking back on it, that like sandbox will actually teach you how to play the game
Mhm.
better than doing the challenges.
Because
So
it's
you
not
do,
a sandbox. It's an easy mission.
yeah, do the sandbox and then go and do the challenges, and I think it'll be a lot easier paced. But they are long.
And
I mean, it's simple. Even the first one they have you do outside the tutorial, it's really not hard, but it's going to take you a little while to do it.
Yep. Easy, but like I said, expect like an hour per mission. In my experience, especially because I dick around. But here's another thing, just to finish up on the sandbox, just to fully freaking bitch about it. When you finish any level, like you finish one of the missions, after you finish the mission, it's like, do you want to go back to the main menu, or do you want to keep playing on this mission? So if you ask me, the missions are almost more of a sandbox than the sandbox.
In a way. Yeah.
I'm just really bothered that the sandbox has a 4 citizens build a rocket. What? The only reason I have 20 citizens is because I'm creative. I want to have fun. I don't want it to end.
No, and you don't have to leave.
No, but then it reaches a point like I'm not unlocking new citizen types now. Like, I don't know.
No, I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't jumping up and, because I was like, oh, well, I guess that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's not the biggest game, and I mean, it's 446 megabytes.
No, and I think the lack of the end of the sandbox and the 8 missions only.
I'm kind of hoping that they do some added content. Maybe more items and stuff, because we're not looking at like a wall of building options. It's pretty limited.
Well, to be fair,
what?
Hasn't been out for long.
No, October 21st, 2021.
And they came out with some bonus missions in December for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That was only a couple months ago.
Or at least, I mean, the missions, whatever. Let you create your own.
I know. Yeah, to be honest with you, the missions don't
I actually
captivate me
thought
too
in
much.
Sandbox that's pretty much how it was going to play. It was just going to be like a mad hack for it per se, and be like, okay, what are you looking for? Unlimited. You already start with a 1,000 scrap, or...
Is it just weird to say that I thought sandbox mode was going to be more sandboxy?
No, because I didn't think when I launched my rocket
that you were going to beat it.
I didn't think I was just going to be sitting, because really what happened was my little platforms in my little city launched away. I'm like, okay, fair enough, I'm safe. And then the music just kept playing. I was like, okay, it'll be some credits any second. And the music played, and like, all right, shit, nothing's happening. Pressing buttons, like nothing is. All right, my shit's gone. That game over. All right, hour of my shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. So I mean, just use caution. I mean, if you're in it for the creativity, don't build a rocket. I'll tell you, just don't even waste your time. Or build it and don't put 4 on there and just have the birthday parties.
Just 3. Stop at 3.
But it did throw me a curve. I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever played a sandbox that had an ending.
Yeah, especially for a city builder.
Story.
Especially for a city builder.
Yeah, so...
Speaking of music, so when you're in-game, there's like a little like radio thing that you can like shuffle songs and shut off. I always shut it off and I feel bad because like they have like...
There's like over 20 songs.
Mm-hmm, and there's like some DJ, and you can tell it's them. It's like radio Spacefolk or something like that. It's pretty funny, but I usually shut it off. But you can turn down the volume as well in-game. A little complaint I have is that you can't adjust the volume in the main menu
when you're loading in
until you like actually pick a mission.
Yep.
So it's like
it's a little loud.
It's very loud. Mm-hmm. It's very loud.
But you also keep your headset on high.
I do not.
Really?
I usually keep it up 3/4.
I keep mine cranked full blast.
I usually keep mine up 3/4. That's why
full blast.
So things are usually pretty casual to me. So I fired up the game and it was like So I went to like extras. Because like the option was like play, extras, I think exit or some shit like that. There was no options. So I went into extras and it was just extra missions. So it's like, all right, I guess I got to go right in the tutorial before I can even edit the sound. I just wish they gave you the option from the main menu because it's loud.
Yeah, so if you never played it, just quickly go into one of the the games and.
Or turn down your headset volume before you go in.
Yep, it is a little loud.
Not a little. It's loud. And again, and then unfortunately, when I load into the game, I usually just turn off the volume. But
No, I just know I'm gonna get blasted until I hit play, and
then it is what it is.
I just reach over and
shut off
the radio.
Thing.
Click.
Yeah.
I've listened to pretty much all the songs though.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are pretty damn catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a song I've ever heard before.
No,
some of them are very specific to. I'll say game specific, by the lyrics. It's pretty funny.
No, again, it's the radio is all about the game. They did a great job with it. That's why I feel bad shutting it off.
Yeah, it's a big music score.
It's just I hate to be like that. Just when it gets so in my face, I'm just like my reaction. So like off, not lower, off. You know, I hate to be like that, but just
suck worse if they didn't give you an ability.
But not for nothing. Like, so obviously the building system in this game would not work one bit if it was like a Sim City or like a realistic building game. Because like again,
you build 3D.
Well, like okay,
full point of view, go around, look all around.
Well, not only that, it's like you go to play Sim City, you can't place buildings the way you place buildings here.
I would say look at the picture you posted on Instagram, and that will show you why it wouldn't work.
Yeah, because like again, it's not like houses up and down. You'll put a house sideways. It's like it's so unrealistic, but because of that, it gives it its own little cute little. I don't know. It's its own little twist. It's not a traditional city builder by any means.
Definitely a city builder,
but not traditional.
No, I don't have pizza people and avocado people, and I think the closest they came to normal people was magic, like magician people, but they don't look like people.
But again,
like a weird panda thing.
I say it's definitely a good E for everyone game. It's a good game to like give to your hey, okay, as a fully grown adult, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I love city builders though too, but it's also a game like you have a kid who, and he uses your quest. Maybe some city builders would, even though there's not many in VR, but like they can be pretty sophisticated, for a kid to play. Although I was playing SimCity very young, but I've always liked those genres. But I don't know, it's a good introduction to city builder, I'll say, because it's very simple. There's
not overly complicated.
There's no, like you said, no electricity to manage, no utilities to manage, no
sewer, no water, none of that.
Your happiness isn't going to go down. There's no maintenance of happiness. It's just get the star and then you're good.
House skills. I mean, at the end of the day, it's almost a little too basic.
Yeah,
but
I won't lie, it gets me excited for City Skylines.
Yeah,
I hate to say that.
I mean, no, and this is one of the first of many city builders that are going to be coming soon. So some of them are going to be more traditional, I think.
Okay. Hats off to them for not just doing what everybody does, though, and taking a chance and doing a genre that's not done often.
Listen,
in VR.
4.4 stars is not slouchy. And they're hitting the $24.99 for the game. So I can say whatever I want about it. It doesn't matter. It's they're doing all right.
And in the end, we'll get into our final thoughts and our rating and everything like that. But in the end, I enjoyed the game. I love city builders, and it scratched the itch a bit. I definitely want more city builders, but it proved to me why they work in VR. It's so just like we saw with Eternal Starlight with this proves that real-time strategies can work, and they actually remove some of the limitations that exist in flat screen real-time strategies. That's the same for city building. To be able to just place buildings with your hand and imagine drawing roads. Okay, yeah, well, man, I can't wait. Imagine if you were drawing a road in a city builder, but you do it with just your controller like that. I don't know. It's so much better than on a computer. So this game, hats off to them for not going down an already proven path in VR. They took a chance, and beyond taking a chance, they nailed it. It proves why city builders can work in VR.
You saying the Spacefolk rhythm game won't work? No, they look. I think,
and it's cute. It's cute. I like it.
It's the first game I think I sent you a message. I'm like, this fucking game is so fucking cute, dude. Yeah, they took a kind of a chance, I think. But what I like is they're out there first. So, like it or love it, or what comes down the road is they'll always be able to look back and be like, We were there. We were kind of one of the first to sample the waters of city building like that.
Yep.
With its own unique. And look, they attracted me with the verbiage city builder. If they called it something else, I might not have been so inclined, just based on, you know, the bright colors and cutie little citizens. But at the end of the day, I'm happy I actually got it and played it, and it's like, shit, there's gonna be some good stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to know that, like, there's more coming. There's more content coming for this game.
Yeah, especially for that price tag.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I hate to be that guy who plays a game and goes, "Now I can't wait for this," but I cannot freaking wait for City Skylines in VR. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, there's a handful of games coming soon
And not
that
for
are gonna be good.
so we always wonder what gets a game on the official store, what gets it on the App Lab store, because one could go, this probably could have ended up App Lab, but the argument being it absolutely should not be an App Lab in my opinion, because there's not other city builders. So this fills out a missing genre on the Oculus Quest store. So absolutely it should be on the official Oculus Quest store. I will not shut up until they are. By that logic, I want to know why Arcaxer and why Iron Guard are not on the official Quest store. Because where's the other top-down RPGs? Where's the other...
No,
where's the other tower defense games?
When you're setting, you know, your own originality to it, and it's not shoddy and glitchy and riddled with bugs, and yeah,
This game absolutely deserves to be on the official Quest store.
Because honestly, if this was on App Lab,
I'd be freaking out.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be like, oh, you know, how surprising. I see some similarities graphically of games that are on App Lab, and I see it performs as well as some games that are on App Lab. So if it was, I'd get it.
I'd say I'd be
Wouldn't
including
be happy about it.
I'd be including it in my category of Iron Guard or Arcaxer.
You know, App Lab is loaded with games that we can sit here all day and agree that
should be on the Quest store.
We could just go literally game by game, and you could even put it to vote, put it public opinion. Most people probably like, oh yeah, that game, shit, yeah. I don't know why that's not in the official store.
Iron Guard,
you know, whereas there's some that deserve to be, but yeah. So for $24.99, I'm hoping that they add more content, because where I'm at with it right now today is like,
probably could have been 15, 20.
I'm kind of tapped with necessarily playing it like I have been. I need something to bring me back, and the sandbox mode's not going to be it. We're usually at the end of the day.
Sandbox is sandbox, so you should be able to play that endlessly.
Yeah, when a game gives me sandbox option, I do all the missions or the story mode, whatever, and then, you know, enjoy the rest of my time playing sandbox. But this was like, oh, it's just a glorified mission that had an ending. So, I mean, I'm kind of shitting on it a little, and I'm not trying to. I'm just being honest that.
But hey, when we get into the final thoughts, and you know, I think that'll be more honest of our actual thoughts.
I think the whole thing's honest. I'm just, you know.
It's just when you're talking about that specifically, it's like, yeah, to be honest with you, it bothered me that the sandbox has an ending. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, but I mean, really, it's got a 4.4, so the public opinion is what matters anyways, not necessarily mine. This is just my own personal, you know, I wish there was more to it for the price tag. And as a consumer, I'd be like, okay, if there's more coming, then I'll swallow the price tag pill, because I have, you know, that's fair for what they've given you to play with now, which is, and don't get it wrong, you can be into each one of those little challenges, and you figure there's 8 of them. That could be 8 hours of content right there, depending on your play style. And if, you know, you're into just, oh, I don't ever want to leave, then you probably play sandbox mode for freaking hours. But eventually you're going to get bored. There's only so many zip lines and houses, and it's like very limited building stuff. So more content than, you know, hip hip hooray for the price tag makes more sense. But you know, you always say it, people got to eat, and easy for us to buy something and then be like, it should have been cheaper. I wish that was a little cheaper.
But so before we get into our final thoughts and review, I'll do our quick little begging. Speaking of which, anyway, as we're talking about, man, maybe this game is a little too high. Now let me do my form of begging, huh? So if you've been enjoying the episode, you know, Be sure to rate us 5 stars, subscribe on whatever platform you are on, especially Apple Podcasts. Definitely drop us that written review. Same with these Oculus games. All these games we review, you play them, you like them.
Review.
Every developer we interview, they say the same thing. Hey, please, if you like the game, review my game. So for them,
we're guilty too.
Sometimes
we'll admit we've reviewed games and then realized we never even reviewed it.
Gone back like a month later and dropped the written review. So I get it. You've listened to 20 episodes and you go, one day I'm going to review them, and you haven't. I'm not judging you. I get it. It happens. But if you have the time, 5 stars, written review, all that fun stuff. Also, be sure to join our online communities at our official subreddit, our Discord. You can find the links for those in the show notes as well. You can go directly to our subreddit at reddit.com/r/RuffTalkVR or rufftalkvr.reddit.com. There you can join an ever-growing online community of Ruff Talk VR fans. Our subreddit's up to like 172, dude. It's
getting there.
100 was a big deal in December.
Baby steps.
We're growing, baby. The Discord's getting some activity, so we're having some fun. Go join us there. You can also find a link for our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is the link to support the page financially directly, either with a one-time payment or a monthly donation. I know you might think that, nice mics, beautiful voices, consistent episodes and quality. These guys must be full-time podcasters. We're professionals. Well, I'll use the word professionals, but we're not full-time, unfortunately. So if you want to help support that dream of becoming a full-time podcaster, you can donate there. And also, visit our sponsor links, Kiwi, Zencaster, the whole 9 yards. So that was a pretty long spiel. We'll get into our final thoughts now. I'm done begging.
I didn't know if it was a begging podcast or we were doing a review of Spacefolk.
Rough talk begging.
Rough talk panhandling.
Rough talk subscribe 5
Better
stars.
than standing on an intersection in like beautiful sneakers with a sign that says hungry and homeless will work for food. I always look at the shoes, man. I'm like, you're not fooling me. Those are $200 sneakers. I can't afford those. Out there with a cardboard sign. That's my rant. All right, so are we going down to we get into the nitty gritty?
Yeah, we'll
what
go
you
into
thought at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll go into the 5-star or the final thoughts. So again, anybody who's listening, you guys already know our categories, but we got 4 categories: gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, and replayability. Each is rated on a scale of 1 to 25, and then the 4 categories add up to the total rating. So on a scale of 1 to 25, starting at gameplay, I'm gonna give them a 25. I enjoyed it for what they set out to accomplish. They never at any point try to be a realistic city builder. Like you're not building rivers and roads and electric. It's not like that at all. It's their own little cute universe, and they accomplish that really good. It's fun. The building's unique. I've never done a city builder that I like jigsaw puzzle, put my things together, and the limited building spaces due to the electricity placement. I don't know. It's fun. I had a lot of fun with the gameplay. The zip lines, the different ways of transportation. 25 for me. It was fun. Aesthetics, you could make the argument it's not amazing graphics with like photorealism or like, oh my god, it looks true to life. But that's not what they're trying to accomplish. They're going for an aesthetics that's very colorful, very vibrant, very playful, very family friendly. The cute little characters. And in that regard, they knocked it out of the park. It was actually one of the first things that I noted to myself when I started playing was that although the graphics might not be the highest quality, this is one of the cooler environments I played in the Oculus Quest. The outer space, the cute building. I don't know. The aesthetics, I'll give them a 25, even though they might not be the highest quality, what they set out to accomplish, just like the gameplay, they nail. So 25 for aesthetics as well. When we get into functionality, I'm going to knock them 5 points. And that's because there's one glitch I've had repeatedly in sandbox and missions, and I don't know if it's on my end or if it's a glitch. Actually, I'm like 95% sure it's a glitch on my end. The only reason I leave that little shadow of doubt is in case somebody comments and goes, no, that's a feature, and for some reason it's supposed to be broken like this. But, I'm 95% sure I'm getting plagued by a glitch where occasionally I'll place a building. Like example, I'll place a house, and then it's not constructed yet. It will only happen if it's not constructed. It's not constructed, so I'll grab it and I'll go to move it, and I have fat fingers. You know, it is what it is. I'll accidentally, and I'm a little twitchy, I'll accidentally press the B button while I'm moving it, and then the item will disappear. Well, that's cool. That's no problem. I didn't waste any scrap on it already. It's gone now. That's no problem. That's not a huge glitch. But now, whatever space it was in when it disappeared, I cannot build anymore with any item at any point. There's no way to access the item that disappeared. So depending on where I placed that item that disappeared, I might now have a big unbuildable area of my square. So if I'm doing something wrong, if this is a me error and somehow the game's not broken and I'm just an idiot, tell me. I'll fix my score. Until then, that's one glitch I've had. Other than that, the game works great. So I'm going to give them a 20 on functionality. I just can't give them a 25 if I've been plagued with that glitch so much. And I'm pretty confident it's not on my end. But, you know, I'm open-minded. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So if I am, someone correct me. I'll bump them up to a 25 there. But I got to give them 20 for functionality. Replayability, I'm going to give them a 15 because sandbox is kind of fake. It's not a real sandbox. Once you do, I'll be honest with you, the missions aren't the most exciting objectives in every situation. So they're not even like diverse enough with the objectives to make you excited for the next mission, I guess you could say. Your most fun comes in sandbox mode, but it's not a real sandbox mode. So, you know, there's going to be a certain point once you get to like mission 5 where you're kind of making yourself get through the rest of the missions just to see if, you know, I don't know. I wish that there was a little bit more to the game as well, too. It's amazing for the first, you know, those first hours you play it. And then once you get through about half the missions, you beat the sandbox. You kind of get left wishing there was a little bit more. And that's unfortunate because overall I had a great time with the game. It's just you hit a wall with it. It's like I don't know how much more I'm going to play this. So replayability, I got to give them a 15, unfortunately. But it was still a good game. So 25 for gameplay, 25 for aesthetics, 20 for functionality, 15 for replayability. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
It's 85.
No, it
okay.
Is.
I used to be so scared of getting the wrong one, like adding up my score wrong, and then one day I did. So I don't believe anything anymore. I always look for the validation right afterwards.
All right. Well, hats off to the publisher and developer are the same, Beyond Frames Entertainment, for putting out a pretty entertaining Spacefolk City city builder with its own unique spin on city building. I mean, it's in space and it can fly away. Is it really a city? Or is it like isn't it a base at that point or some shit? But anyways, I you know, the colors, you mentioned it, they pop, they're bright, it's colorful. Reminded me a little of Iron Guard with the 3D graphics of like the building modeling, but again with its own unique. Never played a game like it, never seen characters like it, never had to deal with pizza people and banana people and garden people. And it's cute. I'll use that. It's probably the best word to use to describe the game. I've seen it in many reviews. It's a cute city builder, but it really is. It's not just being used because there's nothing else to say. Gameplay, I had fun. I didn't have the most fun in the whole wide world. Kind of like, I think once you kind of figure it out, it becomes a little easy, even though the challenges will still take a long time to complete, but some of it are by design. It might be, you know, have 350 scrap, which at 10 a scrap, if you're not Dscruffles and building friggin', you know, devices to help you and your refineries, you know, it's 10 a scrap. So it's 35 different little rocks you got to take just to, you know, so it can just get a little, So I actually gave him a 20. Not bad at all, just not the best, I guess, in my opinion. Aesthetics, I gave him a 25. I don't see anything wrong with the graphics. I mean, I have nothing to compare it to. it's its own genre of city building, so they can set their own path for it, but they didn't look shoddy. I didn't see, lines or shading issues. If I had to say anything, it would probably be and it's not even bad because I'm smiling and laughing, but the voices the characters make when they talk are real kind of, beep, boop, 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 really bizarre. But I don't shit on them for it. It's just funny. So they get 25. Functionality, man, when we were playing and we were party chatting and you had that issue, I immediately tried to duplicate it instantly and I couldn't do it. And I still can't do it. So I don't know how you're doing it. I'm giving them a 25 just based on my shit. And I was hoping, I'm like, man, you found a glitch, dude. And at first I thought maybe it was just a mistake, but it's not the first time it's happened to you while playing this game. We've played other nights and you had it happen like twice in the same night. And you're like, I can't even build anything on it. And I'm like, shit, if that were me, I'd be starting the whole thing over, because now I got areas I can't even build on, and I don't know what the hell's going on there. I'm hoping somebody does reach out and they're like, nope, that's a glitch. It only happens to 1 out of 18 people, and you're the lucky 18.
No, I'm hoping somebody reaches out and goes, no, dude, it's invisible.
It's invisible.
Now you press this button and it comes back, and
you didn't let your guy just build,
and the space is reserved for if you put it back, and I don't know.
Yeah, so it's weird, but I, based on my own experience and no one else's, I do give them a 25 for functionality. And then replayability, I mean, I give them a 15 as well. Our scores are they're the same end score, but just minor differences in which is always impressive. I give them a 15. I'm already getting bored. Not, when I say bored, it's like, well, so you're never going to play it. It's like, no, I'll still play it now and then. If I see there's an update for it, that's going to consist of some more playable maps or some more character features, even more transportation things, because the zip lines, it's over the top. It's cute. And the fact that they can go up or down them and they'll go through buildings, it doesn't matter. That's a unique touch. So if I see some more content being added, the replayability will go up to me. But I unfortunately have the replayability at a 15. And it almost hurts me to say that, because I really like to go back and keep playing games. But if this one were to not do any updates, then it's probably going to collect dust in my digital dust.
Mm-hmm. Nice little novelty game while it was there.
But I mean, they're onto something, and I don't know what their future is. I've never spoken to anybody from their company. It is an 85 on both of us, so that's still a B. But if there's a long-term plan for this, and they're in the store, so there has to be something, then yeah, this could pay off in the long run, to where a year from now you're going to be, oh man, remember when that game was only $24.99? And then
but as of right now, it kind of feels like maybe it could be 20 for the cost. But
yeah.
Hats off to them for accomplishing the city building genre.
Yeah, I mean, I will never hurt somebody for making money and paying bills, or like you said, everyone's got to eat, and it's true. Everyone deserves to eat. I'm just saying, from a consumer standpoint, for what they put on the table, 8-10 hours of content, $19.99 is not bad. But compare it to other things that have less content for the same price, then I can't really complain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bought it.
Here's the thing: if it's a story-based game in VR, I'm more understandable with that level of content. But if it's something like a city builder, you kind of go into a city builder thinking, I can spend as much time with this as my imagination lets me.
Yeah,
which doesn't exactly happen with this game.
No. The whole no. Yeah,
so it's kind of specific to that genre as well. You might play another genre that has 8 to 10 hours of content, where it has 25. It's like it's home run.
You're correct.
But it's just because it's a city builder, you're like, oh wow.
And sometimes the challenges feel more like somebody went in the sandbox mode and just created a scenario.
Sometimes the challenges feel like a little bit more of a pain in the ass than fun.
Yeah, but that's why I'll go back and say do sandbox first.
Mm-hmm.
Once you figure out, but it was double-edged to me, because
I'm sorry, did I cut you off too? Did you wrap up your final score?
Yeah, 85.
Okay,
I said, yeah.
Okay,
we both got to 85.
Making sure.
No worries.
I would feel like a real asshole. I couldn't. By the way,
once we did sandbox mode, it was, like I said, double-edged because it taught me a lot more about the game, but then it kind of made the challenges
That's
not
the wall.
challenging.
That's the wall. You hit the wall after sandbox, and that's sad.
I'm like, oh no.
And sandbox
Now
shouldn't
I
be
got
a
an
mission.
easy fix for anything they throw at me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that challenging,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, right now as it stands.
But if you like city builders,
oh yeah, buy it.
it's worth it.
I bought it. Listen, I gave it a B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I spent the
85
money.
is not bad.
It's not.
And this is another one, again, to disclose. We didn't get this for free. This is our this is the you want to go donate to buy me a coffee, help us buy some games. This was at our wallet, you know.
This occasionally adds up.
so this isn't like, oh, you know, we got it for free, but 85. It's no, we paid for it. It's an 85.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
is what it is.
Yeah, I like city builders though.
They had me at City Builder.
It proves that city builders work in VR. I just wish there wasn't a gameplay wall where you go, bleh.
Yeah, I've hit it with
but
quite
it proves
a few
it
games
works
in my lifetime.
And if it proves anything, I'm getting City Skylines day one.
I mean, how's this? If you had somebody who was new to VR, it'd probably be a great, because you played sitting down. It's not, there's no motion sickness. It's cute. It's, you know, the vibrant colors. If you listen to the soundtrack, some of the songs are just, you know, they make you smile.
And hey, I don't mean I'm looking forward to City Skylines. I don't mean that disrespectful by any means. It's just that's a little bit more of my cup of tea for city builders. But hats off to Beyond Frames Entertainment for taking a risk. Like I said before,
they're on the map.
Yeah, and they honestly, it is a good game, and it's a city builder. They did a different route. They did a genre I love. They proved city builders in VR work. Hats off to them.
Absolutely.
So if you like city builders, definitely worth it. If you like cute little family games, you know what? It's definitely one to look at too. Yeah. So, hey, you know what? I won't do any more begging. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, this week's episodes of podcast. And I won't lie, we got a little bonus for you coming on Friday. So
absolutely,
stay tuned. Podcasting remotely can be a challenge. And when we first began interviewing developers, we ran into every headache imaginable.
From connection issues to video lag to sound quality performance, we knew there had to be a better platform we could use.
That's where Zencastr came in, allowing us to easily connect with guests all over the world. Zencastr is simple to use with no download needed. With studio quality sound, HD video recording, automatic post-production, automatic transcripts, and a cloud backup, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast.
If you'd like to have the same easy experience that we did for all your podcasting and content needs, then make sure to go check out zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code RuffTalkVR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's ZENCASTR.com/pricing, promo code RuffTalkVR. Zencastr, making remote podcasting easy. Hey guys, Dscruffles here. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And definitely don't forget to check out our official subreddit and join us there at r/RuffTalkVR. There you can join a community of other podcast fans, join us for some podcast meetup games, get first scoop on new episodes, interact with us a little bit directly, and more. As well, be sure to check out our official podcast supporter link, the Buy Me a Coffee link you can find right in our show notes, where you can donate to the podcast either one time, multiple times, become a monthly supporter. That way you can help us on our journey to make podcasting a full-time gig so we can continue to bring you more great podcasting content. As well, be sure to visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes as well, where you can go and shop for different Oculus Quest 2 VR accessories, whether it's knuckle straps, lens protectors, face shields, whatever. Kiwi has you covered. So again, visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes, help support the podcast, and pick yourself up some sweet Oculus Quest 2 gear.